I essentially have three objectives whenever I get in front of a group and speak. The first objective is this. I want you all to start thinking about what your purpose in life is, meaning why are you here? I think we focus so much on getting a job and what we're going to become. We don't focus enough on the who we're going to become. Second objective is this. I want you all to think about your natural, God-given talents and abilities and how you can use those to make a positive impact, a positive difference in the world. And then finally, last thing I want you all to do is to go out and serve. Find a way to go out and be of service to someone. And you all may be saying to me, well, Derek, I'm just a student. I can't serve. I can't do anything. Well, I respectfully disagree with you, and here's why. Every last one of us in this room who is either getting a degree or who has one, we represent about 22% of the entire U.S. population. So what does that mean? It means the other 73 or so percent, my math is 77%, sorry, will never get a degree, and less than half of those will ever even step foot on the college campus. So what does that mean? It means they won't have the same access to opportunities that you have, that I have, that every last one of us in this room has. So are you obligated? Absolutely. Damn right you're obligated. So how are you going to go out and make a difference? And so then you may say, well, I don't have a lot. What can I do? I don't have much money or much resources. Well, there was this woman who lived in Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi to be exact. Her name was Osceola McCarty. And when she passed when she was 91 years old. And one day when she was 87 years old, she had gone to the bank. She only went two places, to the bank and the church, back and forth. She had gone to the bank to make a deposit. Her job for 80 plus years of her life was to be a washerwoman. She washed people's dirty drawers, socks, whatever else. For parties she was never invited to, for birthday celebrations she never got a slice of cake for weddings she was never invited to, and she was largely paid in quarters, dimes, nickels, maybe a few dollars here and there. And so what she would do is she would take these small, seemingly insignificant little deposits and make them every day. She would go to the bank. So one day, at 87, she went to the bank and she walked up and the teller said, Osceola, do you know how much money you've accumulated over the last few years that you've been making these seemingly insignificant contributions? She was like, well, no, why don't you tell me? He said, Osceola, you've accumulated more than $250,000. She's a simple woman from Mississippi. She didn't really understand how much money that was. So he said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 10 dimes out of the drawer. I'm going to put them on the counter in front of you. These dimes represent your money. You tell me how you want me to distribute your money. She said, okay, great. She said, well, I'm going to take the first dime. This first dime represents the church, and I want you to give this dime to the church because they fed me spiritually all these years. She said, the next 3 dimes, I want you to give those to my nieces and my nephew because I love them so much. And the last 6, I got something special in mind, but let me get back to you. He said, okay, that's fine. Well, a month later, the University of Southern Mississippi gets a check in the president's office for $150,000 with a simple note, handwritten, attached to it that said, I want you to start a scholarship fund for African-American students who still know how to dream and who value education. So this is a woman who dropped out, couldn't go to school after 5th grade because she had to work, never had any children of her own. She never even got a license. She said, well, look, ain't nowhere I want to go where I need a car for, right? So she never got married, even though at 86 she did say she was still looking for a good man, all right? So again, this is a person who didn't have the same opportunities, but she made sure someone else had them. So show of hands if we think that small, seemingly insignificant contributions don't mean anything. Oh, you don't? Okay. So I'm here to respectfully disagree with anyone who thinks that way. And if anybody ever tells you that the little things don't matter, you got my permission to respectfully smack them upside the head and say, yes, they do matter. In fact, they mean the world. Her contribution changed lives for so many students, who knows for how many more years, because the university said we're going to match this gift another $150,000 every year. So $300,000 will go into a fund for African American students at the University of Southern Mississippi. So tell me that your small, seemingly insignificant contributions don't matter, that service doesn't matter, that giving doesn't matter. Each one of you are on some kind of board or whatever, right? And that's all good, that's cool. But here's the thing. What kind of mark have you made? Show of hands, how many of you are graduating this year? Show of hands, who's graduating? All right, give it up, that's good, great. You graduated. So my question to you is, what kind of mark have you made before graduation? Have you left your school or your organization or your team better than it was than when you first got there? Or is it still the same, or has it gotten worse? And so if you haven't made your mark yet, and you haven't found a way to serve creatively yet, you haven't found a way to give yet, I suggest that you be creative and find a way to do that before you leave your campus. And, you know, I'm a simple guy, so again, here's my simple piece of advice to each and every last one of us in this room. Find a way to discover whatever your life's purpose is. Again, whatever your mission is. Secondly, how are you going to use your talents to make a difference? And third, just go out and serve brilliantly. That's all you got to do, man. It's simple as that. Life is simple. We make it hard. All right? So thank you guys for listening to me. Again, my name is Derek Felton. Come see me in booth 81. God bless you.
All right, all right.